speaking of superstars, I would like one. I would like one in Dallas. So, trade list candidates, yay or nay. Dom,
Here we go.
let's do it. Brock Nelson, New York Islanders.
Based off our team and what we're missing, let's do it.
Yeah. He's an unrestricted free agent in the summer. Jim Nill loves to do that. Obviously, Tanev last season, he was on UFA, and you got him for those few months, and he was really fucking good. But he just played defense. He was hard defense, big body, all that kind of stuff, and played really well, and it just came up short. Not a superstar, but I think Brock Nelson fits in on that third line with Jamie Benn and Wyatt Johnston once Sagan comes back, and then you can get your top lines, and you have top three lines, and then obviously Sam Steele on the fourth line has just been one of the best players for the Stars this season, and just no one talks about him at all.
Talented.
He's so good. He's so fast. He's scrappy. He finds his way to the net all the time with just like a defender on his back. He's like always got people behind him. It's incredible. But yeah, Brock Nelson, I'm in on it. UFA kind of scares me. I would like to have someone that's kind of locked up and you give up a prospect or a draft pick or something like that. But Mikael Granlund, San Jose.
You could talk me into it.
Yeah.
But what his biggest strength would be, I feel like we could go elsewhere.
He is another Evgeny Dadonov. He's another Max Domi.
Exactly.
He's your guy that you put on the third or fourth line, and if you get something out of him, great. If not, he's just good in the offensive zone. He's a responsible hockey player, good IQ, all that kind of stuff. I think he'd be good. I'm looking for great. We want to win a Stanley Cup this year. You got to have someone that's great. I don't think Granlund fits that, but if he's one of three guys that you go get at the deadline, then yeah, I'm excited about that. But if he's your one guy that you go get, I think I'm good. Next name, Trevor Zegras, Anaheim Ducks.
This is the sexy one, and I can see him taking a lot of pressure off other Stars players. I can see this working out if we do get it done, and I am all for this one.
I'm in on Zegras if you do it in the next 3 weeks.
Yes.
I don't want Zegras coming in March. I don't want him coming in on deadline day because that's just not enough time to get integrated into Pete DeBoer's system, which is it's tough. Like the defenders, like when they come in, it's a completely different system. That's why we've been seeing issues with Matt Dumba. It's a completely different system than what most NHL teams run. So the sooner you can get a player in, the better, obviously, and especially with Zegras, where he's been just rotting in Anaheim since he showed up. Obviously, he's unhappy with the coach, unhappy with the situation. Zegras would be fun. You're going to have to give up a good haul for that. You're going to have to give up a first-round pick and a prospect or an NHL player at that. Like, you have to give up something to get Zegras because he'll be under contract. He's a young player, and he could be an absolute stud for Dallas. But sooner rather than later, if he is available. Next name, Evgeny Malkin, Pittsburgh.
We were hearing rumors about this.
Right as Sagan went on LTIR.
The exact same timing. Pittsburgh, they felt like this year has just felt like the lowest of the low for this Crosby-Malkin run. If there was a time for him and Crosby to be separated, it feels like it's right now. His playoff presence would be really nice to have, and I can see. It would be a shock to me to see him not in
Pittsburgh.
a Pittsburgh Penguin sweater, but I would certainly love the idea of him pairing with some of our younger guys.
Yeah, you throw him on the third, fourth line, and he's just your goal scorer. You put him on power play 2, and he's just a threat out there. He's not as fast as he once was, but he's still, he's won cups. He's won a lot of cups, actually. So I'm in on Malkin salary retention on Pittsburgh. I want to know the number. I don't want to take that whole thing. Next name, Dylan Cousins, Buffalo. He's not all right. Prefacing this with he's not available per se, but Buffalo stinks out loud. And if you can steal this guy, he's under contract through 2029 on a 7-year, $7.25 million deal, I think is what it is. So, Dylan Cousins.
It wasn't a name I was expecting you to say.
Yep.
But now that you say it, even if we have to, give a little bit more than we'd like, Dude, he'd pair good with a couple of our guys.
I'm trading Maverick Bork and another prospect and a draft pick immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately.
The thought of him on. Ooh.
He's a fun name. He's a fun name. I've been floating this around the press room. I'm just like, who the hell are we going to trade for? Because I'm not there every day like some of these reporters. And Sam and Robert, we always talk. And I'm just like, all right, who do they see? And Mikael Granlund and Brock Nelson are always the names that pop up because that fits Jim Nill's kind of MO when it comes to these trades. But Dylan Cousins just excites me. Warm and tinglies. Just feels good.
American Airlines would definitely love him skating around.
Next name, Taylor Hall, Chicago. Chicago stinks, so I mean, just kind of anyone's available other than Bedard.
It feels like they will definitely be shopping a lot of pieces, and I don't think the return will be crazy.
No.
I'm going to go even more than saying I want him. Like, I kind of need him on this team.
He's fast. He's a goal scorer. Like, this is what I'm looking for in trades is someone that can come in and just score. Like, they don't have to be the setup guy. Their only job is to put pucks on net and put goals on the board. Like that, Taylor Hall fits that description, and he's a little bit older. He's kind of like Matt Duchene, bringing him in. Joe Pavelski, when he came in, it's kind of the same thing. It's a little bit leadership. Been through a lot. He's been on a lot of teams. He's kind of fit in most everywhere that he's been. I think Taylor Hall would be fun.
Yeah, this among all the names we've done so far, like we need to get on the phone now and get this one done.
Whenever I see Jim Nill, if I ever see him, she's like, "Why are you not on the phone right now? What are we doing?" Next name. Now this is where it gets really interesting because this came out last week, late last week. Vancouver Canucks, they're having a little bit of issues in the locker room between two players. These two players are on the list: Elias Pettersson and JT Miller. Which one would you prefer, and would you take both of them? Like, you can't take both of them, obviously, but, like, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
Both of them are unreal on the penalty, something we desperately need. JT is on some Jimmy Butler stuff right now with just absolutely causing chaos up there. Pettersson, for my money, I'd probably take. I mean, it's picking between 1 and 1A.
Yeah.
But looking at our team, I want to assume that Pettersson's return for Vancouver would be slightly less. But JT's so good at scoring goals. I mean,
and he plays both ways.
Yeah.
He does everything. He's a 200-foot player, and he scores goals.
Yeah, you add JT Miller to the Dallas Stars, you have one of the best hockey players you'll be able to find.
Because you throw him on the top line with Rupe and Robo.
Who do you guard? Like who do you game plan for?
All three of them can score at will whenever they want.
And Robo's really been on a heater recently too.
He's been really good, and Rupe's been awesome as well.
I'd probably take JT over Pettersson, but
I think the locker room thing is the issue.
The fact that they're both available and like we're this deep into like media reports are saying that like they are pretty confident that, you know, some teams are closing in. It's unreal because they're so good. Like if you just ride it out in Vancouver, you might still have a playoff formula there. But hey, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And JT Miller on the Dallas Stars immediately put that jersey into my Fanatics account. Immediately get me hyped for the playoffs. And I will definitely have to be my first time in American Airlines for a playoff series.
Yeah, I would take either. I think Pettersson actually fits the Stars mold a little bit better. He's a quieter guy. He's foreign-born. Like, they just love the Finnish guys, the Swedish guys. They just keep doing it. And he's under contract. He just signed it last year, right, heading into the season. So he's under contract for another 6 seasons after this. At what, 8?
Yeah.
8.5. Like, it's not.
Which will look better once the cap goes up.
Yeah, we got another year until the cap goes up. Or it's going to go up this year. It's probably going to continue to go up each and every year. So then the Wyatt Johnston contract comes in, and then Logan Stankoven, and all those kinds of contracts are going to have to get done. I think Pettersson kind of fits that just because he's under contract for that much longer. But JT Miller, I think, is the 200-foot player that if you paired with Rupe Hintz, like you have two 200-foot players and then Robo. Your top line is back to what it was last year. It's just like, okay, well, our top line's going to score tonight. How many other lines are going to score?
The storyline this year has been the penalty unit, the power play unit has been atrocious.
Yeah.
You add JT Miller to that power play unit, like the rest of the league's in trouble.
It's scary. The other thing about so that's the trade list. That's all I had. That's what I came up with this morning. I was like, this seems like a good list. If you can get one of these guys, you're going to be in a better position. If you can get like Granlund and Zegras or Granlund and somebody else, then you're sitting in a decent position. You're better, but still not that superstar power that I think that the Stars missed last year in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Zach Hyman, they all just took over the game.
Literally won series for their team.
They won the series. They almost came back in the Stanley Cup Finals against a team that has superstars. Like, you've got to have a super duper star in the NHL to win now, and depth. And we already have the depth. If you sacrifice a little bit of depth to get a superstar, I'm in. I'm all the way in on that.
I am too, because our 5-on-5
best in hockey.
Best in hockey, yeah.
It's not even close, actually. Their 5-on-5 is insane. I think they're 1 or 2. Like
12 deep.
Yeah. Anyone can score at any time. And Dadonov then goes to the fourth line if you get one of these guys. With Sam Steele.
Dadonov finds...
And Blackwell or whoever.
He finds the
Stan
smallest
Coven.
angles, dude. Jesus.
No, I'm just saying. This would be really good.